Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing part 3 of our video series, doing this button bottle wine cozy. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, if you haven't caught part 1 and part 2 of this series, go ahead and do that now. If you want to do this one, that's fine. It's just we already started this out here. I got this free pattern from Red Heart, and I will leave the free download link in the description box below. And I went over what you need to construct this wine sweater. Red Heart is they sell yarn, so you can use the color yarn that they stated in their instructions, or you can do what I did. I'm trying to make this festive, so I chose this multicolored here. So you will need a number 7 or a 4.5 millimeter knitting needle, and you'll need 2 of them, of course. And then you also will need a cable knitting needle, which is a needle with 2 ends that are pointy, so you can slide in and out of the stitches. The regular needles have the stopper, and this is also going to be a number 7 or 4.5 millimeter needle. You always want one that's going to match what you're using so that your stitches are nice and uniform. So in part 1 we did the cuff, and then in part 2 we did the body up till row 9, and then I said that from rows 10 through 18 I was going to do off camera, which I've done here, and then we're going to pick up back at row 19. And you guys, it's pretty much a repetition of the first 8 rows. So you really once you get this down, you'll be able to do this with ease. Well, with somewhat ease if you're a beginner, but this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna kind of look like this. Some of the instructions for me are very difficult, or were very difficult to understand. So I'm gonna kind of use most of this instruction to make this sweater, but then I'm gonna add my own different twist to it because I can, and I really couldn't understand these other instructions, unfortunately. So you can always leave a comment below and let me know if you really are adamant to do what's on the instruction, and I will make separate videos for that. If you need to have me redo or slow down or re-explain a portion of this series, again, comment below and I will make a video for that. If you click on the gear on the corner of your video screen on YouTube, that leads you to a drop down that you can change the speed of this video. So if you do need me to slow down, you can click on that gear and click on whatever times number you want to slow down or speed up, and that should help as well. So I'm going to go straight into the next steps here. So I'm going to blow this up for everyone to see. And I'm going to grab, I dropped a brush. Hold on a second. I do nail videos and I'm just dropping everything. So I'm kind of dropping that stuff. But I'm gonna grab some yarn here. You guys, I like to have my yarn all wrapped around my finger like it's nobody's business. So that kind of like helps me not having to keep on feeding myself with yarn. I can just already have it ready to go, and it kind of keeps me put until I remove all the yarn from my finger. So that's also, you know, a thing I like to do, especially if I'm doing larger projects, because it makes it easier to kind of count down and doing this knitting stuff. It's like, okay, I'll take a break once the yarn is off my finger. So again, we did up to rows 18. I did rows 10 through 18 off the camera, and look, and this was all the repetition. When we stopped at row 10, we had about like this much of the sweater done. And then of course I just did the rest from doing rows 10 through 18, and look, we already have about maybe a quarter of the sweater done, and I love this. Once you understand how to make cables, you can, you know, just make up your own design and throw in cables and ribs in there, and you have this super elegant craft thing, whatever that may be, and you'll be able to show it off. I actually took this pattern and I ended up making mug cozies that I do have on my Etsy shop, and it's kind of like this, but it's kind of not, because obviously it's for a mug. But it's things like that. Once you kind of get advance in your knitting skills, you can always, you know, cut and paste some of these instructions and make your own project. Okay, so for row 19, this is going to be a buttonhole row. Currently we have 2 buttonholes, one, and then this one I think I yarned over in a weird spot because the hole isn't as big as I would like it to be. I don't even know if that one's the hole. But we're gonna do another buttonhole row. So okay, buttonhole row 419. It's a different. I start here because this is a different one. Like, they won't show another instruction if it's repeating. So this is a new different row that we have here. So first I'm going to slip stitch, and I'm going to go do this very slow for you guys if you have not caught, or if you've forgotten part 1 and part 2. But we're going to do a slip stitch, so it's from back to front, and you're just taking that stitch over to the right needle. Meanwhile, we have our yarn in the front here. After we do that, you just want to move the yarn to the back, and this is going to help keep this stitch and this stitch in place. You won't lose it. I don't have a good explanation why. I just know that you'll lose one of the stitches if you don't do this. But anyway, so then we're going to knit 1, K1, and you're going to go from front to back. So we're sticking it front to back this time, and then we're going to use this and do a back to front, and lock and load that so that it can't move off the needle. And we're going to drag the needle through the stitch, and then we're going to remove this stitch off the left needle. So we created our first knit stitch. Then we're going to yarn over. I feel like I can't remember. One of these I yarned forward, and then the other one I yarned back. So let me try yarning forward this time. I don't know which one I did first, but the last one I did, you can't even see it. So I'm a little disappointed at that. I don't know what I did wrong, but I know I did that yarn over. Okay, so we yarned over. Now we're going to knit 2 together. Wait, just so that my mental memory, I yarned forward. Okay. Then I'm going to knit 2 together. And And all that is, oh sorry, I didn't even explain that. So I'm going to put this back. Knitting two together is taking two stitches and knitting it together. So from front to back, I'm going to go into that second stitch right there and then put the needle through the first one on here, and then I'm going to do the yarn from, I'm going to yarn over from back to front, lock and load that so that it's stuck in between these two needles. Then I'm going to pull the needle through those loops and then pull the loops off the left needle. So now we have our slip stitch, knit stitch, yarn over, and we have our knit together. So now we have to purl one. We're going to put our yarn to the front. We're going to stick the needle this time from back to front, so not this way. We're going to do it back to front this way, and we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to pull the needle through that stitch and then remove it off the left needle. We did our first purl. So now here in brackets is knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2, and we have to do it 4 times. So whatever's in this bracket, we have to repeat 4 times. So we're going to put the yarn to the back because we have to knit, and I'm going to go from front to back, then I'm going to yarn over back to front, lock and load that to make sure it's in there. Pull the needle through the stitch and then pull the stitch off the needle. One more time. Front to back, yarn over back to front, lock and load that stitch. Then we're going to pull the needle through that stitch and then pull that stitch off the needle. That's 2. So now we got a purl 2, so let's put this yarn to the front, and we're going to stick the needle from back to front, then yarn over front to back, and then we're going to stick the needle through that stitch and then remove it off the needle. So we're going to do another one. We'll stick the needle from back to forward and then yarn over front to back, and then we're going to pull the needle through the stitch and then remove the stitch off the needle. So now we have to knit 6. So I'm going to stick the needle from front to back, yarn over back to front, pull the needle through the stitch and then pull the stitch off the needle 5 more times. Stick the needle front to back, yarn over back to front, pull the needle through the stitch and pull the stitch off the needle, sorry. Then we got to do this 4 more times. Stick the needle front to back, yarn over back to front, stick the needle through the stitch and pull the stitch off the needle. And once you do this over and over again, it'll just kind of come second nature, so just be aware of that and keep trying. Let's put our needle front to back, yarn over back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch and remove the stitch off the needle. 2 more times. Stick the needle front to back, yarn over back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch and then remove the stitch off the needle. 1 more time. Stick the needle front to back, yarn over back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch and remove the stitch off the needle. So we have 6 knit stitches. Now we got to do purl 2, so we'll do 2 of those. Put the yarn to the front now, We're going to put the needle from back to front, yarn over front to back, pull the needle through the stitch, and then remove the stitch off the needle. Again, put the needle back to front, yarn over front to back, pull the needle through the stitch, and remove the stitch off the needle. So now we have to just repeat that 3 more times. So we'll go back to knit 2. So I'm just going to call it out now. Knit 1, knit 2, then we're going to purl 1, purl 2, then we're going to knit 6, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, knit 5, knit 6, then we have to purl 2, purl 1, purl 2, then we have to repeat this 2 more times. So knit 1, knit 2, and then we're gonna purl 1, purl 2, then we're gonna knit 6, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, knit 5, knit 6, and we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we just have to do this 1 more time. Knit 1, knit 2, and we're going to purl 1, purl 2, then we're going to knit 6, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, knit 5, knit 6, and then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to knit 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm going to flip this thing over, and this is the wrong side. As I said in the last video, there's a wrong and right side. This is the wrong side because you can't see the cabling, and the stitches just doesn't look as pretty as this side. This side is the right side because we have that little excess yarn from the very beginning sticking out like this, and obviously you can see all the nice cabling. But we're going to flip this over because we always need to have our stitches on the left side. So now for row 20 through 26, we have to repeat rows 2 through 8. Like I said, it's all repetitive stitches. So once you get rows pretty much 2 through 8 down, that's all it is. So I'm just going to leave it like this. Let's see. And so for row 2, we just have to slip 1. Okay. Then I want to put this to the back because it make sure we keep this stitch and the next stitch over to it. Then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to have these brackets. It's purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2, and we repeat this 4 times. So put the yarn in the front so that we can purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're gonna put the yarn to the back so that we can knit 2, 1, 2. And you guys, I'm gonna take a little break right here because I want to show you something. You can have an idea also. You'll start to notice as we're doing this. We know what a knit looks like, a knit stitch. It's this braiding here. And we know what a purl stitch looks like. It's this kind of basket weave here. So if you're off, if you miscount or you skip a row, I've done it, trust me. And let's say the next stitches we have to do here are purls, right? Let's say, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to do a knit because I lost my place. If you do a knit, something's wrong because you can see that these basket weaves are purl stitches and knit stitches look like this. So if the patterns are repeating, then more likely these stitches here are not knit stitches. We have to do a purl stitch, right? And that's the case because I stopped here at P6. I didn't do those yet. So let's say, oh, I accidentally skipped that one and I'm knitting 2. You'll see the difference. It doesn't come as easy. If you were to do a purl, sticking the needle purl wise from back to front, it just glides in. If you did a knit, you have to kind of angle it right and it doesn't really come in. And then vice versa. If you try to stick your needle like purl wise in a knit stitch, it might feel funny as opposed to doing a knit stitch on top of a knit stitch. So that's the rule of thumb. If these patterns repeat, more than likely if you see a purl stitch, you're going to be doing a purl stitch over it. Some cases you do a purl stitch on one side and then you do a knit stitch on the other side, but in this case it's purl. So we're going to do 6 purls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to put the yarn to the back because we have to knit 2. 1. Oh, and I missed 1, 2. Then we just have to repeat this 3 more times. Let's start purling. 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to put the yarn in the front because we've got to purl 6 times. Again, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we just have to repeat this 2 more times. So purl 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to purl 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. Then we just got to do this one more time. Purl 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to purl 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. Then we have to purl 2 times and knit 5 times. So yarn to the front, purl twice. 1, 2. And then yarn to the back and knit 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see that buttonhole. See, that buttonhole isn't as big as the first one. And that's so annoying. And here's the other one. Alright, so the next buttonhole I'm going to try doing back to front. But I think this was a special case because I think we had to do that M1, that increase 1 there. I don't know. Alright. So row 3. Now we're going to do the cable stitches. So look out for that. Whoa. So we're going to slip stitch, keep the yarn in the front, then put the yarn in the back so that we keep that stitch and this stitch, and then we're going to knit 2 and purl 2. So 1, 2, yarn to the front, purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 2, purl 2 before we do the cable stitch. So let's knit 2 and then purl 2. And now we have to do those cable stitches. So we have to do 3 and 3. And what that is slip 3 stitches onto the cable needle. 1, 2, 3. You're going to make sure you want to take them off as they look on the other needle because you don't want to twist the stitches, but move that to the middle so that it doesn't slip off as easily. And then we're going to keep the needle in the front. So you want it in front of these 2 needles, not behind. And then I'm going to go ahead and knit 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, off of the left needle. And it's going to look a little nuts. You have to look around that cable, the cable needle. You can like push it off to the side, but as you pull tension off these stitches, it is going to pull tension off of the neighboring stitches, and it'll make it hard for you to put your needles in and take them out. But we're doing 3 knit stitches, so back to front like we normally do. lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch and remove the stitch off the left needle. And we're going to do this 2 more times, in through the front, out through the back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch and then remove the stitch off the left needle. 1 more time, front to back, yarn over, back to front, then lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch, remove the stitch off the left needle. So we have our 3 stitches now. You see that weird gap? We're going to cover that with this cable stitch, but first I want you to pull all these stitches off the left needle towards the stopper so that it doesn't slip off the needle while you're working. You can always buy stoppers for your needles. They sell those. I think it's like a rubber or plastic piece you slide on. I'm not gonna do that. That's more stuff I have to buy. But I'm gonna take the cable needle now and I'm going to knit these 3 stitches. So again, front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through that stitch and then remove the stitch off the needle. We're going to do this 2 more times, front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch and remove the stitch off the cable needle. 1 more time, front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch and remove the stitch from the cable needle. And now you have a free needle. You put that down and we're going to continue. We do this and then we have to purl 2 times. So yarn to the front, and we're going to purl 1 and 2. And so now that we did that, we have to repeat this 3 more times. So I'll do this again with you guys, and then the next 2 I'll just, you know, kind of breeze through that. So yarn to the back because we're going to knit 2 times and purl 2 times. So knit 1, knit 2, then we're gonna yarn, bring the yarn to the front, and we're gonna purl 1, and then we're gonna purl 2, then we're gonna put the yarn to the back because now we have to get our cable needle, and we're gonna slip over 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, slide those to the middle, keep the needle in front of these 2 needles here, and then we're going to knit the 3 stitches off the left needle. I have to look around to make sure I can see what I'm doing. Yarn back to the front, lock and load that. Then we're going to pull that needle through the stitch and remove the stitch off the left needle. 2 more times, front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch, remove the stitch off the needle. 1 more time, front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch, remove the stitch off the left needle. I'm going to push all these stitches down towards the stopper. Then I'm going to grab my cable needle and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to knit the 3 stitches. So front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load it, pull the needle through the stitch, remove the stitch off the needle, stick the needle front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, pull the needle through the stitch and remove the stitch off the left needle. 1 more time, front to back, yarn over, back to front, lock and load that, stick the needle through the stitch and remove the cable needle off the stitch. I'm going to put this down now. So now we just have to repeat this 2 more times. Oh, we have to do purl 2. Never forget that. I forgot that. I keep forgetting that before when I'm doing this, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta catch myself and make sure you get that purl 2 in. So we're going to put the yarn in the front, stick the needle back to front, yarn over front to back, pull the needle through the stitch and remove that stitch off the left needle. We're going to do it one more time, back to front, yarn over front to back, pull the needle through the stitch, remove the stitch off the needle. Now we can repeat this 2 times, and I'm just going to call out the stitches. Okay, so yarn to the back, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn to the front, purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're gonna put the yarn to the back, grab the cable needle, slip over the 3, 1, 2, 3, slide the stitches in the middle of this cable needle, keep the cable needle in front of the needles. Then we're going to knit 3 off of the left stitch, the left needle, sorry. So I'm going to yarn over, knit 1, 2 more times, 2, 1 more time, 3, push all those stitches near the stopper, then grab the cable needle and we're going to knit those 3, 1, 2, and 3. Put the needle down. Then we're gonna purl 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to repeat this bracket one last time. So knit 1, knit 2, purl 1, purl 2, grab the cable needle, slip 3 stitches on, 1, 2, 3, then we're going to knit 3 off the left needle, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to knit the 3 off of the cable needle, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now that we've completed that, look how much longer this sweater's getting, and our cable work is just amazing. So for row 4, we have to repeat row 2, which is slip, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2 4 times, purl 2, knit 5. It's very wordy. Okay, so I flipped this over. Let's slip stitch this now. We're going to knit 2. 1, 2. And then we're going to start the bracket, purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2. So we're going to purl 2, 1, 2. We're going to knit 2, 1, 2. We're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, and now we just have to repeat this 3 more times. So we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're gonna knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're gonna repeat this 2 more times. Let's purl 2, 1, 2. Let's knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I accidentally pulled off 4 stitches. Yep, be careful with that. Okay, I got it back. So we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we got to do this 1 more time. So purl 2, 1, 2. We're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2. Now we have to purl 2 and knit 5. So purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to flip this over. So we did 4, now we got to do 5. And I'm just going to go grab some yarn here. I like to have a lot of yarn. Oops, I keep hitting that light. 1, 2. Oh, why am I counting? Yeah, I end up doing these videos during the nighttime, so my weeks have been busy recently, so I do get tired to the point where I feel like my coffee's not working during the day. So, oh, and I hit that stinking light again. I'm wrapping this up. Okay. Row 5. Do a slip. Turn to the back. We're going to knit 2, purl 2, knit 1, knit 2, and we're going to purl 2, purl 1, purl 2. Now we're going to do a little bracket here. Knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2. Okay, so we're going to knit 2, purl 2, one, 2. We're going to knit 6, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, knit 5, knit 6, and then we're going to purl 2 times. 1, 2. Now we have to repeat this bracket 3 more times. So knit 1, knit 2, purl 1, purl 2, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, knit 5, knit 6, purl 1, purl 2. We gotta repeat this 2 more times. Knit 1, knit 2, purl 1, purl 2, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, knit 5, knit 6, then purl 2, 1, purl 2, and we just have to do this 1 more time. Knit 1, knit 2, purl 1, purl 2, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, knit 5, knit 6, purl 1, purl 2, and then we have to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now geez, I'm on row 7. I think I'm on row 7. We have to repeat row 5. Yeah. Actually, alright. So yeah, I have to do row 5. So let's do that. Stuff, you guys, it's crazy. Okay. We're gonna slip 1. Then we're going to knit 2. Oh, that doesn't seem right at all. Okay, maybe that was 5. I'm so silly. Yeah, and you know how I knew that? Because this is the purl side. So like I said, you kind of figure out stuff as you advance. So I just finished 5. I'm doing 6 and 7, so I have to repeat row 2, which is the slip 1, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2 4 times, and then purl 2, knit 5. Okay, so we're going to knit 2. 1, 2. I already did the slip stitch. And we're going to do the brackets. Purl 2, knit 2, and we're going to purl 6, 1, oops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're gonna knit 2, and we're gonna repeat this 3 more times. Purl 1, purl 2, knit 1, knit 2, and we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're gonna knit 2, 1, 2. Then we just gotta repeat this 2 more times. Purl 2, knit 2, and we're gonna purl 6, we're going to knit 2. Then we just have to repeat this one more time. Purl 2. Knit 2. And we have to purl 6. Then we have to knit 2. Then we have to purl 2. Then we have to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Just checking out the buttonholes that I made. Yeah, it's not really visible to see, which is kind of annoying. So now I just have to do row 5 or 7, which is row 5, and then row 8, which is row 4 or row 2, and then we have finished the rows 20 through 26. So let me go back here, and then just a moment, I gotta feed my cat. Okay, so we just have to do 5 and 4 or 7 and 8, then we can move on to the next steps. So grab this. We're gonna do a slip stitch. Then we're going to knit 2, purl 2. Knit 2, purl 2. Then we're going to do our bracket, which is knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2. So we're going to knit 2, then we're going to purl 2, then we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we just have to repeat that 3 more times. So knit 2, 1, 2, purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 6, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to repeat this 2 more times, knit 2, 1, 2, we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we just have to repeat this 1 more time, knit 2, 1, 2, we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to knit 5. So I wish there was a way where like you can lock your I think there is a way you lock your phone so if you touch it, it doesn't think you're pressing anything, but it keeps it on. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you guys, look at what we have here. We are building these up so that we can then cable it. We're getting there. So we just have to repeat 4 and then we'll move on to the next steps. Row 4 is basically row 2, so we have to slip 1, yarn to the back. We're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we have our brackets, purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2. And we got to do that 4 times. So let's purl 2, 1, 2, then we have to knit 2, 1, 2, then we have to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we have to knit 2, 1, 2, then we just have to repeat this 3 more times. 1, 2, 1, 2, that's a knit 2. Then we have to purl 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we have to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we have to repeat this 2 more times. So purl 2, 1, 2, knit 2, 1, 2. We have to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have to knit 2, 1, 2, and we just have to repeat this 1 more time. Purl 2, 1, 2, then we have to knit 2, 1, 2, then we have to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have to knit 2, 1, 2, and then we have to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we have to knit 5. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's a lot. So now we just completed rows 2 through 8, which means we have completed rows 20 through 26. And now we're going to do 27 and 28, and we have to repeat rows 3 and 2. So don't forget this, you guys, because this is a small screen. I'm not going to go back to this section here. We have to do 27, 28, which is row 3 and row 2. So let's go back here. It's our cable stitching. So let me get some yarn. We are getting there. I think I'm going to go to the end of 31 because after that it tells you to repeat all these steps until this measures 10 inches long ways. So I'm going to do all that off video so that this isn't an extremely long video. So this is, what is this, part 3? So we're gonna have a part 4. Part 4 definitely, I think we're gonna have to complete the whole sweater. Okay, so we have to do 3 and then row 2. So actually let me bump this down. Okay, so let's do row 3, slip stitch, then we have to knit 2 and purl 2, knit 2, and then purl 2. How are you guys doing? Are you finally getting the hang of it? Did you kind of memorize part of it? Are you more confident in doing this now? Okay, we're in the brackets. We're going to do knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, and then purl 2. Do you guys like have to slow my video down, speed it up? Are you guys able to make the stitches as I call them out, or do you have to kind of like reference back? It's always nice to know how you guys are progressing in this series, so I can kind of figure out the next videos and make sure I either go faster, slower, more detailed, not detailed. Okay, so I'm going to take my cable needle and I'm going to slip on these 3 stitches here. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to keep this needle in the front, and we have to knit 3 stitches off of the left needle. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 3 off the cable needle. Who thought that these cable stitching was a lot more complex than it really is? I thought so myself. I thought it was some machine-made craziness, but it's really just an extra needle. Okay. Then we got a purl 2. 1, 2. And then we just got to repeat this bracket 3 more times. Knit 2. Purl 2. I'm going to take our cable needle and slip on 3 stitches. 2, 3. Sorry, I had to go off frame because I couldn't pull that needle in. I had to use some elbow grease on that. So we're going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Try not to do have too much tension when you're making these stitches, because as you saw that there, I had to like force the needle in. We're going to do 3 knit stitches off this cable needle. 1, 2, 3. And then we have to purl 2. 1, 2. Then we just have to repeat this 2 more times. So we have to knit 2, 1, 2. Then we have to purl 2, 1, 2. Then I have to get my cable needle and slip 3 stitches on it. 1, 2, 3. I hope I'm not off frame in all of them. Oh man. Then we're going to knit 3 stitches off of the left needle. 1, 2, 3. Then 3 stitches off of the cable needle. 1, 2, 3. Then we have to purl 2. 1, 2. Then we just have to do this 1 more time. Knit 2, 1, 2. Then we have to purl 2. 1, 2. And we have to grab our cable needle, slip the 3 stitches off. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to knit 3 stitches off of the left needle. 1, 2, 3. Then we have to knit 3 stitches off of the cable needle. 1, 2, 3. I'm just getting some yarn here. Then we have to purl 2. 1, 2, and then we have to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we completed another row of cable stitching. Look at all this cabling we've done here. I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna take a quick sip of my hot cocoa. It is kind of cold here. So good. And then we have to do row 2. So we're going to slip 1 and knit 2. So we're going to slip this stitch here. Oh, this light. And then I'm going to knit 2. 1, 2. Now we have to do the brackets. And it says we're gonna purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, and then knit 2. So let's purl 2, 1, 2, then we're gonna knit 2, 1, 2, and then we're gonna purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have to knit 2, 1, 2, and then we just have to repeat this 3 more times. So we're gonna purl 2, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're gonna purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, and then we have to just repeat this 2 more times. So we have to purl 2, 1, 2, then we have to knit 2, 1, 2, then we have to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have to knit 2, 1, 2, and then we just have to repeat this one more time. So keep gathering yarn almost after every row. Ooh, because I don't put that big wad anymore. I really should, but I'm just trying to go through these rows here for you guys. Okay, so we have to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, and then we have to purl 2 and knit 5, 1, 2, and then knit 5. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we did 3 and 2, which means we did 27 and 28. Right here, 27 row 3, 28 row 2. Now we're going to do a buttonhole, and the buttonhole is going to be row 19. So let's do this. Let me get some yarn here. We are almost there, you guys. As you see, after row 29, we have rows 30 and 31, which are basically rows 4 or 5. Or in other words, 2 and 5. I don't even know why they say that. They should just say row 2 and 5 and stop playing around like that. But then after rows 30 and 31, it tells you to repeat rows 2 through 31 once more. Total of 7 buttonholes made. Oh, okay. And then once you do that one more time, and then tells you to repeat rows 2 through 7 until piece measures 25 centimeters or 10 inches from beginning, and end with a row 4 or row 6. That's a lot, right? And then it has these weird instructions to do pocket opening. I'll tell you this, you guys, leave a comment below if you want me to try to attempt this. I could never do it. Out of every time that I've tried, I mean, years down the road, maybe I'll read things differently, but the way that I do it is I get a crocheting needle. So get the same size crocheting needle. Crocheting needles come in letters, so you're not going to see a 7, but it does have millimeter measurements, so you want to get obviously the 4.5. So try to have that for video 4. Otherwise, comment below. Let me know if you really want me to attempt this. I can try it. I might screw it up. But yeah, so let's finish doing rows 29 through 31. And then we're going to end this video. I'm going to complete the rest off video. You can do the same. And then we'll pop back in for video 4, and I'll show you how I crochet the pockets and add the buttons. And there is a bottom to this, and same thing. If you really want me to figure this one out too, I will. Otherwise, I just crochet the bottom. You don't really have to have a bottom. Sometimes I like get in a rush and I'll just do the sweater and call it a day. A bottom is nice to have because when you put your wine glass down or wine bottle down, it won't be glass on surface. It'll have a nice muffled noise because it's sitting on that bottom of the sweater. So I'll probably do the bottom of the sweater for this series. But again, leave the comments below if you really want me to try the instructions. Okay, so row 19, buttonhole, slip stitch 1. Then we're going to knit 1. And then this time I'm going to try to do, oh my gosh, I couldn't even tell you which way I did it. I think I yarned over forward. Let's yarn over backward and see what happens. And then we're going to knit 2 together. Okay, knit 2 together. We've got our 2 stitches that we just knitted together. And then we're going to purl 1. And then we have our brackets, which is knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2 4 times. So let's knit 2, purl 2, and let's knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to do this 3 more times. So let's knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to do this 2 more times. Knit 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to repeat this 1 more time. So let's knit 2, 1, 2. Let's purl 2, 1, 2. Let's knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's purl 2, 1, 2. All right, and then it says to knit 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we have to do rows 30 and 31, which is basically rows 2 and 5. Okay. So we're going to do a slip, and then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then our brackets is purl 2, knit 2, purl 6, knit 2. So we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to knit 2, and then we're going to repeat this 3 times, purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we have to knit 2, 1, 2, then we just have to repeat this 2 more times, 1, 2, knit 2, 1, 2, purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to repeat this 1 more time, purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, is that buttonhole? Huh. It's a doozy. So I guess the other way, not the backwards way, but the forwards way was better. Because it's probably the same. Whatever. Alright. So now we have to do row 5, and that'll be it for this video. Almost there, you guys. We're going to slip one. Okay. Then we're going to knit 2. 1, 2, then purl 2. 1, 2, and then we're going to start our bracket, which is knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2, and then we're going to do it 4 times. So let's knit 2, 1, 2, purl 2, 1, 2, then we're going to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then we just have to repeat this 3 more times. Knit 2, 1, 2, purl 2, 1, 2, then we have to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have to purl 2, 1, 2, and we have to do this 2 more times. Knit 2, 1, 2, purl 2, 1, 2, then we have to knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we have to purl 2, 1, 2, then we have to knit 2, 1, 2, then we have to purl 2, 1, 2, and we have to knit 6. I'm getting caught up here, you guys. Hold on. I need to get my extra yarn. Okay, so purls, 6, whoa, knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, purl 2, 1, 2, and then it says knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we completed that. So just showing you where we are now. So we just did the rows 30 and 31. We repeated rows 4 or 2 and 5. So that's it, you guys. Off camera, I'm going to do these 2. Repeat rows 2, 3 once more and have a total of 7 buttonholes made. And then I'm going to repeat rows 2 and 7 until the piece measures 10 inches from beginning. End with a row 4 or 6. And then part 4, I'm going to make my own pocket with a crochet needle. I'm not going to do these instructions unless you comment below and tell me otherwise. And then I'm going to make my own crocheted bottom. Doing this, not doing this, sorry, but if you want me to do the bottom doing this, I will try in another video, so just comment below again. But this is it, you guys. So this is the end of part 3. Part 4 is coming up. It may be posted tomorrow, but that is Thanksgiving. So if I don't post it tomorrow, I will post it this weekend. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And join me again Thursday. I have my Worldly Josieisms video, and then I have a Friday live where I'm going to be doing an unboxing. I'm going to update some talk on some nails that I did, and I am hosting another mini Watchtime giveaway. Check the description box below for all the rules. We do have all day tomorrow and all morning Friday to get your entries in, last minute entries, so check that out. And then Saturday I have my night at the Improv. So thank you again. Look at all this cabling that we did here. This is so pretty. I cannot wait to finish it and put the buttons on. I think it's gonna look fabulous. Trying to count the buttonholes. There's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So we should have a total of 7 after repeat rows 2 and 31 once more. And so just keep counting that. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.